My dear ones, welcome into this great good day, this wonderful first Sunday in the shortest month of the year. And as I was saying this morning, it is the shortest month, but my, is it packed with invitations of all kinds for you and for me to enter into celebration as a result. And so what are we celebrating this month? Well, it's the month of love. We're celebrating love in a bigger, deeper, higher, wider way. We're also celebrating Black History Month. And oh my gosh, what a wonderful thing it is to be tuned in with all of the journey that our brothers and sisters have made along the path toward, and continues along the path, as we all do, toward the liberty and the freedom and the equality and the pursuit of happiness, which is the American dream. It's a beautiful thing to behold, all of that, and its whole big message of we can indeed overcome anything at all, we can. And then we're celebrating a Healthy Heart Month. And that's a wonderful thing to celebrate, to allow ourselves to look at that and to be one with that. These are not just little things that are on the calendar, unless they are for you just little things that are on the calendar. All of those are invitations to us all. Focus on what we're eating, focus on how we're moving, focus on how we can support each other in our eating and moving in such a way that it creates more vibrancy and more energy and more tenacity and more flexibility and more of all that is good and whole and wholesome. That's a great good thing, don't you think? And we're celebrating the season for nonviolence. Well, that moves very much alongside of love and love's invitation, to be nonviolent. And I don't know if you've seen the documentary yet of the good Justice Ginsburg. I hope you have. It's a wonderful documentary. It's powerful and potent. She learned from her mother at a very early age, which goes along with the season for nonviolence, to never, ever respond ever in anger to anything or anyone. Never respond in anger. And she learned that so very well, even though she lost her mother at the young age of 17 years of age. She lives that as a principle of her life right up onto this day. Never respond in anger. Oh my goodness, can you imagine how your life would be different if you and I had never responded in anger to any person, place, or thing? Your head would be so much the better for it. Your stomach would be so much the better for it. Your blood pressure would be so much the better for it. And so would mine. Isn't that an amazing thing? I love, love, love that woman. I really do. She has become a legend in her own time. And she has stuck her course. Principle, of course, all her life is about being an activist and for equality for everything and everyone and so on. And so that's what we're celebrating too, non-violence, and we can do that in that way. And so as well as that, we are also celebrating the Chinese New Year, my goodness me, on the 5th, I believe it is, which I think maybe is tomorrow. Is that tomorrow? Tuesday. Oh, I'm a day younger than I thought I was. That's lovely. That's lovely. I don't like it when it's the other way around. And it's the year of the pig. And I can't remember what that is, but I'll look it up because I like to celebrate everything. But you know what? They know how to do it. They celebrate for 15 days. 15 days. All that Chinese food. Can you imagine it? Then I'd be looking like a you-know-what's-it. But anyway, we have so many invitations this month to call ourselves into the celebration of who and what we are in the fullness of life. And also it's calling us to the potency and to the power that we all have with regard to how we conduct our own lives and all of life. And so it's not a month that's going to leave us sitting on our derrieres doing nothing, unless we choose to. But it's a month that calls us to vitality and vim and vigor and zest and to squish it all into a short month. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I can't wait to be in this day and in this month of February, because the whole emphasis is on L-O-V-E in huge ways, expansive ways, in unity and diverse ways, united diverse ways. And we can get our teeth into it, and it's what we as truth students love to do. We like to take that piece of fruit and suck every last piece of juice out of it and go, yum. Now, that zestfulness is what's lying before you now. It doesn't matter what you came in here feeling. It doesn't matter what you came in here carrying. You don't have to continue feeling that or carrying that. You have the power, you have the responsibility to do something about something in your life that you're not happy around, or that's not working for you. Why would you keep thinking, doing, and feeling around what is just so not working for you? Well, that's a talk in another time. But it's a good question for us all to get into. But right now, love is where we are. Love is what it is. And as I was playing around with that, well, I never play around with it. It just plays around in me, actually. What came to me with L-O-V-E, it came life. Life was the first word that came to me. Life. Omniessence was the next word for O. Omniessence. And within omniessence are the omnis, the three omnis, the big ones. Omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence. All power, all knowledge, everywhere present. And then vital was the next word for the V. Vital, and the next word was energy. Life, omniscient, vital energy. Now that is what's available to you and to me, and that is what you're composed of, and I am too, and that's what's flowing through you and through me too. Would you ever think it sometimes? Would you ever feel it sometimes? And the answer to that is no, sometimes not so much. But this is the month that calls us to being open to that. And it's all a question of what you're open to, what you're receptive to. But remember, we're so resistant. It is in our egoic nature to resist. And what we resist persists. What we let go of, what we flow with, is dissipated in the flow. So this is a month when you and I could truly transform ourselves and transcend ourselves and realize something awesomely wonderful in a way that we've never done that before. And the way we'll do it is by taking little baby steps. Love, tell me what love is. Again, I love that piece, that wonderful aria. Tell me what love is. What can it be? What is the burning yearning inside of me? And when you hear that piece of music, there's something in you that really stirs. There's something about opera that really and truly just wraps itself around you and up in you and just vibrates through you. At least that's my experience of it. And once you listen, you don't even have to understand the words, but you really get the meaning and the feeling of what they're singing, that's for sure. There's something about the human voice, isn't there? There's something magnetic and magical and mystical about that human voice. And I can remember the first time I heard Reverend Mary sing up in Arrowhead. I didn't know Reverend Mary from Adam. And I heard this big voice in this room. And when I looked in and I saw this petite boutique young lady, I thought, oh my God, such a big sound out of such a small instrument. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. But that same voice in some other way is in you, it's in me, it's in us all. And if we could just tune into it, if we could just listen into it, if we could just go with the flow of it, sway with it, just go with the flow of it and sway with it, I'm telling you, we wouldn't have to do much more than anything else than that. And we would be the action of love. We would be the force of love. We would be the power of love in expression, because that is what truth students are called to be. Love is an action word. It's loaded with energy and power and potency, and it is that with activates something within us. And I loved what Einstein said too. Einstein said, now listen here, listen up, hear ye, hear ye. He said that we need to get over the delusion, and he calls the word a delusion, of loving a few people who are near and dear to us. That's not what love is all about at all. He says what we have to do, we're called to compassion for every single person on this plane and for all of nature in all of its beauty. That's what we're called to. That's what love is. That's what love is. It's not just for the special few. And even if we go for the special few, what we find out is that they will disappoint us. Absolutely, they will disappoint us. And the reason why is this. No one is ever going to love you the way you want them to love you. No one. No one, listen up. No one is going to love you the way you want them to love you. Have you got that? Because they can't. They can only love you the way they can love you, not the way you want them to love you. Now, are we understanding this for once and for all? Because this would be the month to do that. So where does that leave us if we're just pouring all our love into this precious few that brings us on a merry chase? Up and down and in and out, up the airy mountains and down the runny glens. I mean, really, it's mind-boggling at times. Is the tide in or is the tide out? What am I going home to today? You see. That's not love, by the way. That's possession and control. Love, when it is controlled, is not love. When you have to earn it, it's not love. When it's given to you and taken back from you, it's not love. Love is permanent, always the same, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It is unconditional and unconditioned, freely dispensed and given. It remains the same today, yesterday, tomorrow. No matter what is going on, if I love you, I will always love you, no matter what. I may not, and indeed will not, love everything you're up to, but I will always love you. And it goes on and on and on. Will always love you. I mean, really, that's a great song, but you certainly get it because she doesn't get off it until you get it. And it's all right already, I will. I love you always. And that's what this month is all about. To get over all of our demands of each other, all of our expectations of each other, and stop thinking they're all there to love me. Why don't they love me? They should love me. Why don't they love me? The whole idea is reversed. I am here to love you. I am here to bring to you. I am here to give to you. I am here to serve you. It says on the calendar for February, love generously and be amazed at how it will multiply itself in generosity as it returns to you. That's Louise Hay calendar. I get one every year. And it smashes you in the face every day. Okay, all right, already, Louise. You know. So, I loved when Einstein used the word delusion, because we're all going around deluded, it seems. And illusionary too. Because we're all looking for everything good out there somewhere, thinking it's all going to come to us on a plate. And it's not. Why would I look for scraps out there when I have a complete banquet right within me, ready to feed me, ready to give through me, ready to bring through me every good thing that I might desire? Why would I want the scraps that fall from the master's table, the crumbs, when I could have all of this? Why would I look out there for what is within here? And as long as I'm looking out there for that love or whatever it is, I'm not going to be present to where it truly is, right here. Right here. Awesomely here. Awesomely here. Ernest Holmes says that love is the essential flame of life. Nay, he says, it is the fire itself. Passion, power, energy. And we do not ignore a burn, I can tell you that. We do not ignore a burn. But this is a white fire that burns strongly within us all without burning us. I should say without crisping us. Burns. I fell into a burning ring of fire, went down, 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 and the flame went higher, and it burns, 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 the ring of fire. Fire! And I'm not joking. This is for real. It does burn, but in energy, in potency, in power. Isn't that what you would like to feel when you get up out of the bed and you go, and you can hardly stand straight? And it's only because you think that. Oh my goodness me. I love this thing called aging. You can age all right, it's a part for the course, but you don't have to grow old. And I mean that. You can age, you have to. That's maturing, but you do not have to grow old. And oldness is what's in your head. And America, above all other places, buys into ageism phenomenally. All the TV ads and all the pills and potions and lotions and creams and gadgets and gizmos that you need in order to be able to survive life after you're 30. You're older 30, did you know that? And I look at the good Justice Ginsburg and I see her blowing raspberries at it all. Raspberries at it all. And it's not that she hasn't had her challenges. Oh, yes, she has. She's gone 3 bouts with cancer now. She's just, one of them pancreatic, many years ago. And then when they say, don't you think you should be retiring now? You're 85, for God's sakes. You're an antique. And her response is, yes, one day I will retire when I no longer can be totally present and viable in my job. And when that day comes, I will retire. But really, these old fogies should retire and let the young people have their say and do. Oh, God forbid that all the elders would retire and let the young people have their say and do. The elders need to be present so they can nurture and nourish the young people coming up. Nurture and nourish the young people coming up. Be there for them. Be there serving them and nourish them and nurture them as they are coming up. Let me tell you, some of the greatest saints have said, I'm only getting it now, and they were in their 80s. Some of the greatest saints were just realizing what it's all about, Alfie, when they were coming close to transitional time. There's a wealth of wisdom. There's a wealth of experience that we want to hang on to, we want to keep, we want to have around. For me, I want to see places when people are elders that they go into where there's across-the-board cultural, generational mix. That's what I want to see. I want to see the most loveliest of places for people who have served and served so well and made it through into the elder years, have their final time uplifting. These places I go into, my goodness me, some of the most depressing places you could go into. When I think they should be the most beautiful, the most wonderful places they could be. And really and truly, for that to happen, each one of us must take care of ourselves every day of our lives for the rest of our lives from the time we begin to come aware of it. And as I was just saying to a youngster in the bank the other day, she was telling me she joined up the gym and so on and so forth. She wanted to take her weight in hand. I said, you know, you're very wise. Do it now. You're taking care of your elder years now by doing this. You will be able and agile and flexible, and you will be energetic, and you will be out there, and you will be dancing still if you take care of yourself now. Got to help each other. This is Heart Month, so we have to help each other, and don't tempt each other when people are saying to you, I'm on a special food plan. Oh, take a bite, it's only a bite. Do not do that. Get thee behind them, Satan. I mean, really. Good Lord. What is the matter with us? Oh, but it's wonderful, it's lovely, it's so delicious, you like it. We sabotage ourselves and each other. Have you noticed? That's not what love is. So, okay, in a nutshell, my dear ones, we're in this game of life to win it. We're in this game of life, and don't you mistake it. It is a game of life. It is a game. And a game means a team, and a team means you have to work together and be really team-oriented to be able to be the best team that you can be. And as it is in the game of football, we need to be able to kick straight and certainly have a penchant to be able to pass very well the ball. It's about being able to kick it well and pass it well, and that ensures really good team playing. We don't hold on to the ball, because if we do that for too long, you know what happens. My dear ones, it's up to you with regard to how your life is going to be. What your life is now doesn't have to be what your life is now. It doesn't matter how good it is, it can be better. It always can be more. And certainly if it's not so hotsy-totsy at the moment, it's super duper can become better. Truly it can, and I'm not just telling you this to make you feel good for a minute. That's useless. But it is your decision and your choice. You can delude yourself up and down the yin-yang. You can keep telling yourself what you want, your ego wants you to believe. Even though everybody around you who knows you is telling you, as a mirror, look into this mirror and see what I see. You're in trouble right now, and you need to see it to take care of it. How may I help you? No more supporting people in their self-destructiveness. No more enabling people to stay at the level of weakness. Love is strong, love is potent, love is powerful. And as that wonderful Emmett Fox says, there's nothing enough love, real love. Cannot mend, fix, heal. Cannot release and let go of what needs to be released and let go of. Cannot draw into you the good that you desire if it's enough love. And love begins at home, but it should never end there. And so the first place to look for love is to hear. If you do not love yourself and honor yourself and respect yourself, don't be surprised when no thing or no one else does either. Because as you are, life will respond. And so what you bring, life will give you. What you send out, life will bring right back to you. So we want all of it to be loving, to be kind, to be compassionate, to be helpful, caring, and serving. So, in order to be the team that we are, it's not enough to support the team from the bleachers. If I have a talent and if I have a calling to be on that field, then I need to get up off of my backside from the bleachers and go down there, get into that field and play ball. And so it is.